welcome back to Fallout 76. This is Ren for Ren's Wasteland Camp Review / Dumpster Fires of the Commonwealth. Normally is what I would say. This location is one that, everybody knows. It's Palace of the Winding Path. It's a good place. And as you can see behind me, I have this little camp icon. And if you didn't know, right now I have a camp contest running on my own channel. That is... pick an icon that matches your camp. So I'm going to show you this camp that I have built right here. What do you think? Is it cool? Take a look around. You see anything awesome about it yet? Anyway, let's go to photo mode so I can show you exactly what I've got going on here. I'll turn off depth of field. I'll turn off show player, and I'll toggle the menu, and then we'll go up and see what we got here. So this is the area that I've decided to build in, with the idea that, and as you'll notice, you see the little rat there, the idea that there's very few creatures that spawn in this area. He's one of the few, which is kind of not exactly true. I've ran into deer, which, everybody red stag's not a big deal. I've ran into traveling groups of super mutants that just seem to be walking down the road for no reason. I've ran into cultists, which, those are people, so they might as well be out. And I've ran into the occasional Mothman. Yep, all right here at this location. And as you can tell, it's not a bad little spot. I mean, it's kind of difficult to build here because, one, the road kind of suddenly slopes down. The benefit is you get a ready-made parking lot if you're building a business. And if you're trying to glitch materials in, it can be kind of complicated because of the layering that they do with the surface that they build the actual road out of and the ground itself because of hidden obstacles like the rocks, occasional tire, pieces of guardrail, different things like that. I mean, it's not a bad place. As you can see, it's actually kind of cool. The problem is because it's so close to the Palace of the Winding Path, your build area can't actually occupy all of this lovely parking lot. It can only occupy a small portion of it. And I will go ahead and show you right now what you get with this camp if you're me. Ready, set, go. So, here we are again. I'll just stay right here. Oh, hold on. Let me just fix this a little bit more because I forgot to do one other thing. I need to turn that off so that we don't go all wonky whenever I get too far away from myself. Turn that off, and as you can see, there I am. So I have this camp set up to where it is literally built along the edge of the build limitations on this side right here. The line literally goes along the back of this building. That's why certain things are positioned the way they are. And it goes around this way. And as you can see, there's quite a bit here. I have a camper hauling a trailer with a gun. I have a bathroom that, for my own headcanon, I went ahead and said that it was a Scout's like trail bathroom that you would find as you were walking through trails, because I can't imagine that the Scouts wouldn't have put a trail that ran up here towards the Palace of the Winding Path. Just because it is such an awesome, geographic location that I can't imagine they wouldn't have done it. So there are certain things that would have been here pre-existing, like probably the swing set and definitely the billboard. which I have placed in. And then I went ahead and glitched this into the ground to make it look like it's a wreck. With all the extra tires floating around and everything else that was already here, it was kind of a given to make it look more intact. As far as the world space goes, to make it look more like it was, already here as a living, breathing item. This is Digity Dogs. It is basically a market and mess hall. The idea was that this would be like one of those little roadside restaurants slash diners that had a little bit of theming with a local thing, meaning the Palace of the Winding Path, that also sold tours. Like, this side over here, they're obviously promoting the Nuka World on Tour path that they would probably have had a bus come by and pick you up for. I went ahead and stuck a car out on blocks, because, why not? I have my bot fishing through garbage, because, again, why not? And Tour A would have probably just been the Palace of the Winding Path itself. As you go into the building, you see the little shop. Basically, it's like a little gift shop. There's a few little odds and ends here that would have been sold, and maybe somebody's planning to go rob someplace. I mean, the palace is right behind them, after all. They have the little restaurant up here. And because it's after the war, I figure that, the tables here, it probably got moved around a bit from underneath the chandelier. The fireplace is going. And they probably have been interrogating people here to get information that they need for various sundry operations. Now in here, this is your kitchen. Not that big a kitchen. Not that bad a kitchen, but it is a kitchen nonetheless. And as you can see, we have the cooler that's back there in the back. Because, why wouldn't there be one? You come around. I went ahead and used the Nuka-Cola display. Because this was a restaurant, I figured they would have had, a few different things floating around. Like the coffee machine, and it was probably a buffet where you could come up and get your soda and maybe a piece of pie and sit down at the table and do your thing. And on your way out, swing back out here, check your location to make sure you knew where you were, and then go out here and, do your thing. Then over here, you've got the trailer. Got a few vending machines outside. You've got the broken down truck, and the reason why I say it's broken down is because it has a bunch of flat tires, so let's be honest, it might as well be broken down. Then I went ahead and put the trailer on, used a conduit as a hitch, and incorporated into the trailer this, lovely turret, because if you were driving this vehicle across, you'd have at least something that if you wanted to get away, you'd speed away, and the turret would hopefully deal with whatever was chasing you. On the other side over here, you've got a car, which I glitched 2 generators down into. Those generators are powering the board sign here, which has a few items on it, like, the poop shack, which is right over here. You got a robot dog over here. You got the old man who is, he needed a cabin, a place to stay, so he's hanging out here for now. He's not really affiliated with anybody, but he's definitely, putting in a long haul here. I mean, it's rare that you find one of these scent machines that's actually still working, so, yeah. There was a bit of fire in this location a while back. Not that you can tell. He's repaired the roof and a few other places where the damage was. He has never found windows that fit back in here. So, those have been boarded up quite well. It's a nice little place. It's up here. Digity Dogs is just near the, Palace of the Winding Path. It's a fun location. The trailer itself has the classic design of a upper bed resting above the cab of the truck with a few odds and ends that are, obviously there for the user. You come around this way, and it's got a reinforced steel door, which, unfortunately, in order to show you the interior, I'm going to have to go back to myself, come over here, just go ahead and get ready in case we have a mole rat that decides to come back over here, or a rad rat. Now, the problem with this door is the problem with a few doors in game, and that is that they don't always want to open. But in here you see you've got a stove, sink, a little bit of a dishwasher, some storage, a couple washer dryer because everybody needs to be clean. You got a folding table, the couch, and the bed and things up there in the top. You got a fan, some firefly jars, a few other little odds and ends, and of course a few pots and pans. I mean, what kind of a camp would it be without pots and pans? Let's go ahead and close that. And as you'll notice, the power is set up to where part of the truck has power and part of the truck doesn't have power. I did that mainly because there were, well, to be honest, there's no reason to run power to the whole thing. It only needs it on part of it to show that it's functional, or semi-functional. So, here's some of the area that I was talking about. Let me just go into build mode so I can show you exactly how the build area was used here. Alright, let's just go up. There I am, and here's our build area. The area is utilized in as much of a way as I can, given the area that I'm building in. And it is, well, fair to say that it is a bit overdone. I mean, I probably didn't really need to put the power armor station there, but I wanted to make it look like they were trying to work on the car at least, and they were probably using that to work on the engines. So a little bit of inferred storytelling on my part. And as I said, there was a fire here before. It was caused by a random power surge from this power line when it fell down into the building, and he didn't even bother removing it. That's how lazy the man is. So, but the main thing is this build set that was mainly used is the barn tile set, which is hardly ever used by anyone. The Helvetia set for the front porch, which still has the jump thing. If you try and place things on it, it'll still try and jump through the ceiling. I have underpinning where underpinning was viable. Where it's not viable at, it is not there. And overall, it's a nice little build. Now, this is me building something that fits my contest rules, because the main thing is the trailer here, you see. The idea is that the trailer is the icon, because there really isn't a good store icon in the map section that I'm aware of. I mean, there are a variety of icons you can use, but they just, I don't know. Like, which one would you use for a store? Really? I mean, there's ones for a junkyard, there was ones for office buildings, there's one for, trailers and things like that, lighthouses, which it doesn't even make sense that this is really an icon that you can place, because it's a lighthouse. There is one in the game, but that doesn't necessarily mean people are going to build one. And the few lighthouses that I have seen done are done either really well or really poorly. There is no real in between. You can say there is. You could say, wow, that looks so awesome. But no, not really. This is one of my favorite icons to use right here. I have no idea what this is supposed to be. So, I mean, I got nothing. I honestly have no idea what you could use this icon for. Water wheels, churches, submarines, I get. This I get. The water source I get. The swan thing I get. I mean, for entertainment purposes. You've got a house, then you've got a blown out house. You got a train station, a shack, a shanty, a mine, a construction area, a city that looks like it's kind of falling apart, a civic building, the White Springs. I mean, there's plenty of stuff here. It's just, some of it is just, I mean, this is the closest thing to a restaurant you've got. This is the closest thing to a movie theater you've got. And it looks like a drive-in. It's just kind of odd. That's all I can say. It's like they gave us a bunch of images that don't really seem to matter, if that makes any sense. So, I wanted to give you this as a general tour, and at the end, I will go ahead and give you a tour like, you know, everybody else does. So, here we go. And thanks for checking this out, by the way.